Hey you, what up? Welcome to my channel or welcome back. I'm Maryam, and in today's video, I have prepared another episode of Makeup for Real Life New Year's Eve edition featuring this very blinged out rhinestone New Year's Eve inspired makeup look. I really like this look. I hope you make it yours this New Year's Eve, and I hope you enjoy this video that I have put together for you so that you can look your best in real life, in real light, in real time. So with that, let's get into this video. Remember to subscribe if you aren't already, hit that notification bell so you can watch all of my Wednesdays and Sundays videos in 2022 and going forward. And now let's get into this video, my final video of 2021, Makeup for Real Life New Year's Eve edition. Let's hit it. Oh, I can tell this is gonna be a fun video because I'm just like a wee bit hungover, or maybe I'm still drunk. I don't know. Anyway, this might be like the perfect scenario and the perfect vibe for a New Year's Eve makeup look, so please forgive me. I'm gonna start with my YSL Touche Eclat Blur Primer. Just a smidgel bit of that all over this mug. Ooh, blur this face. Also, I don't know what's up with skin gods. They have not been too good to me. I'm breaking out all over this area in like this weird rash type of a breakout. There's just like a lot of little small bumps, and you can't really see them right now. You can see some redness, but once I put foundation, you can clearly see the bumps, and it's just so frustrating. But anyway, that's what I get for drinking way too much this week and also getting way too little sleep. That's what happens to me. Is my skin like not clean or something? I feel like I'm rubbing this product onto my skin and it's like all rubbing off. I just might be a hot mess, so forgive. But anyway, this is what like the holiday season has been like for me, especially this week, given the fact that, you know, my family is all like broken up into like little cliques. Let's call them cliques. And so we have to see a different clique on different days of the week, so to speak. So that's what I've been doing, and I've been like partying and having holiday dinners and drinks with like all of the different members of my family, and so here I am today, recovering. And I also have another holiday dinner tonight with my best friend, so I need to get this makeup on my face and I need to get going. Okay, so the primer has now gotten a chance to settle in. I'm gonna use my very forgiving Bobbi Brown Skin Long Wear Weightless Foundation with SPF 15. This is a full cover, oil-free shine control foundation. I really like this one because it doesn't look like a mask, but it covers imperfections really well. You can layer it in case you need more coverage. And also, it's very forgiving on texture. So because I'm having some skin concerns this week, this is like the perfect non-irritating but forgiving formula. One of my favorites for the year, actually. So you see that? It's just like a really, really good base. But this side of the face was better than this side of the face. Okay, so you can probably see now, I was able to cover up the redness, but you can clearly see the bumps. They are definitely there, and they are pissing me off. I even have like some bumps on my neck, which is so strange. But anyway, hopefully tonight's little get-together will be like the last before New Year's, so I can recover, catch up on my sleep, catch up on my water intake, and then I can be all better for New Year's. Honestly, that's what I attribute a lot of like the skin problems to. It's either stress, or it's like a lack of sleep, dehydration, too much toxins. But that foundation is very good. I'm looking slightly better. Though not perfect yet, but wait for it. We will make this work. Okay, next, I'm gonna grab my LANCOME Teint Idole All Over Concealer. You remember this one. And I'm just going to cover up some of these bumps. In fact, I'm gonna just add a little bit of product underneath the bump. This is a trick of mine that I do to sort of disguise the shadow that the bump casts. So if you notice, this concealer is like a pinch lighter than my skin, and I'm only adding like a tiny bit of this concealer onto every bump. So I'm just gonna let it sit for a little bit, and then I'm going to sort of brighten the shadow that is caused by the bump. I know this is like kind of complicated, but trust me, it's a good trick that works in real life. Maybe on camera, it won't be as noticeable, but in real life, this is something that I find helps me kind of disguise or hide those bumps that are caused by visible acne, you know? So while that dries, because I do want it to dry a little bit, I'm gonna work on my brows. Gonna use my Makeup by Mario Master Hold Brow Gel. You've seen me do this 100 times, so I'm gonna do this quickly. Basically just brush that out through the wolfies. Actually, I might wanna blend out this concealer spot. I'm gonna brush it out through the wolfies. Then I'm gonna gently shape them and glue them down to my forehead. I'm wondering what brow trends we're gonna see in 2022. Do you guys think the super skinny brow is gonna make a comeback? I certainly hope not, because I have way too much face real estate and I need a heavier brow for all this face. I feel like the skinny brow look only works for certain types of faces, and it's definitely not mine. So that's not a trend or a style that I am looking forward to potentially coming back. Brows are glued on. I'm gonna take this small Rare Beauty concealer brush. It's kind of shaped like fingertip, which is what I like about it. And I am going to quickly blur out my concealer spots. And I'm gonna blur it down as opposed to up. So like I said before, I'm trying to disguise the shadow that's caused by the pimple and eliminate the bump. In real life, in real light, this does make a difference. But don't go too much lighter than your skin, just maybe like a shade or two max. And you may also want to keep your foundation brush handy and then just gently tap over all of that once you're done. You're not adding any product, you're just using whatever is left on the brush just to blur it out a little bit. There it goes. Next, for my under eye concealer, I'm not gonna use the same Lancome all over concealer. I'm gonna go for my Fenty Beauty Fix Eye Brightener, just because this is a concealer I really like and it's very light. And I find that sometimes when you add something heavy and very full coverage, it could potentially make things worse. Yes, it may cover, but it can have an adverse effect of weighing down your eye. And when you're underslept or when you're tired, I find that generally that doesn't work. So you need like a lighter formula, something that's brightening, but not too heavy, not something that can actually be felt on the skin, you know? Okay, we are brighter and we are starting to come together. One size translucent setting powder for the under eye. Also gonna add that between my brows as I always do. Also gonna add a little bit to the pore zones just to smooth them down. And I'm gonna pat some powder over my breakouts, over my bumps, like that. For the rest of my face, I'm gonna use my Charlotte T Airbrush Flawless Finish powder, which is also another smoothing, perfecting powder that I've loved for a long time and have talked about for a long time. I'm gonna add just a little bit more to basically everywhere, to the rest of my face. Why? Because today I need it. I am just in that zone today. I need help. All right, for my bronzer, I'm gonna reach for the Airbrush Flawless Bronzer, also by Charlotte T. This is shade 2 medium, and it's kind of like a cooler shade. So it's a shade that you can bronze up with, but also contour with. So I'm gonna just add that to the perimeter of my face, just to bring a little bit of life to my complexion, a little bit of dimension to my flat pancake face, a little bit to the forehead, a little bit to the hairline, nothing too crazy. I'm gonna add just a little bit to my cheekbone, or rather to the under part of my cheekbone, a little bit to my jawline, just like that. Okay, so now wait for it. This is for the magic. This is like when you're feeling very underslept, when you're feeling very sallow, when you feel like you are just lackluster. I like to grab a really bright pink blush. This one is Makeup by Mario, Poppy Pink. And it's kind of like my secret weapon for those days, because for some reason, this kind of shade just always brings that perfect amount of youthfulness and lift. So today, I need not only youthfulness and lift, but also a bit more color, a bit more brightness. And honestly, this is also a color that would work very well for any New Year's glam makeup. And because it's a New Year's Eve makeup, I am gonna add a little bit more than I normally would for real life, because I am planning to take pictures and I want my blush to last. So because I'm very oily skin, blush doesn't last on me any longer than an hour, unfortunately, so I kind of have to go a little bit overboard if I want it to last and if I want it to actually appear bright in pictures. Okay, so this is good for now. This is good. Back to the brows. Nothing new here. Just gonna reach for my NYX Lift and Snatch, shape my brows as I always do. Damn it, you know when you're like a little hungover and your hands are shaking? That's me right now. But let me tell you something. Even on my worst day, my surgeon hands are probably like a regular person's best day. Yeah, I have a really steady hand for some reason. And so even when my hands are shaking, I'm still somehow better than the average person. I don't know why. I don't know why I just tooted my own horn, but I guess it's something that I really like about myself. I like my steady hands. Okay, eyebrows came out actually nicer than I was anticipating. So now we're kind of done with the base. Next, I'm gonna move on to eyes and then lips and then highlighter. So for the eyes, I'm not gonna do anything crazy in terms of eyeshadows. I am gonna grab my Fenty Beauty primer like I always do. I'm gonna add some to my lids. And for this look, I kind of just wanna go simple, but with just a touch of glam. so that it's a New Year's look that you can wear at home if you're basically chilling in your living room but you want to be a little bit festive, or if you have like a very safe family party that you're going to for New Year's. This look can work with like a really beautiful dress and really nice hair as well. So for that, I am going to reach my Pat McGrath Mothership VI Palette. This is the earth tone palette with that pop of purple. I'm gonna go for first this nude tan shade, like a little crease brush, and just add a little bit of dimension to my eye socket, just a little bit. All right, so basically I'm just adding that shadow between my lash line and my brow and just diffusing that lightly. Okay, I'm spending way too much time on that one eye. That was literally very unnecessary. This is not supposed to be an eyeshadow look, so don't spend too much time on your eyeshadow. Good enough. Next thing I'm gonna do is actually my liner. I'm gonna use my NARS Liquid Eyeliner Explicit Black. I'm going to line my eye heavily. I'm gonna do this little trick first. I'm gonna draw a vertical line from the outer corner of my eye all the way to the top of my crease. Next, I'm going to extend my lower lash line out like that. And then I'm going to draw a line that is parallel to my outer wing, but this line is gonna start at the vertical line and end in the middle of my lash line, like that. And then I'm going to connect this top point to the point of my wing. So basically, I'm creating a long diamond shaped liner. You see that? And then I'm gonna fill everything in. All right, so I don't know why I just did that, but I saw that trick on TikTok and I kind of wanted to try it because this is what creates that super sharp, super dramatic liner for those of us with hooded eyes. And so I thought, why not try it today? Why not make my life even harder today? This diamond liner, I could have probably just drawn without all those lines. But yeah, it does look kind of cool though. Boom, boom. Okay, don't do the diamond liner. Even if you have hooded eyes, don't do it. It's a lot of work, though it does look kind of cool. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is go back into my palette. I'm gonna dip my pinky into this shade here. And this shade is probably one of my favorite eyeshadows of all time. And because of this shade, this Mothership VI Palette from Pat McGrath is my favorite Pat McGrath palette of all time. This shade is super unique and it looks incredible on the center of the lid. It looks amazing when worn alone or when layered over other eyeshadows. It just gives the most ethereal, the prettiest sparkle ever, and it looks so good in photos. It looks so good in dim lighting. I'm obsessed with this shade. Honestly, it can also be a one and done shade in case you don't want to do anything at all, but you want to add some sparkle and some glow to your lids. This is that eyeshadow for me. So basically I'm just applying that all over my lid, kind of overlapping the crease shadow, going high into my brow, and just adding that sparkle wherever I want to sparkle. Okay, I feel like I'm coming together, slowly but surely. All right, next, I'm gonna curl my lashes. I'm gonna curl the top lashes just once because I am gonna add falsies, and then I'm really going to curl the bottoms. This is where that magic is gonna happen. For my mascara, I'm gonna be using the HEROINE Make Long and Curl Mascara, the super waterproof one from Yes Style. You can use any mascara that is on the thicker side or something that has fibers because you're gonna wanna have something that you can easily clump together. So now for the top lashes, I'm just gonna add a simple coat of mascara, nothing too unusual or crazy. I'm not gonna apply the mascara to my bottom lashes just yet, but I am gonna apply my falsies. So for my falsies, I'm gonna use these BIRDYY lashes in the style XXX. I'm gonna use my Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive in black. I'm gonna apply these falsies and I'll be right back. The lashes are on. Damn, these are so cute, aren't they? Just like so flirty and so spiky and pretty. On to the next step. I'm gonna add my mascara to my lower lashes, concentrating the product on the tips of the lashes. Kind of like back and forth and back, almost so that they create little clusters, little clicks of lashes that hang out together. Then I'm gonna take my tweezer and I am going to group some of these lashes together. I'm gonna make them really pointy, like that. Now, you've probably seen me do this before in like maybe one or two other videos, but in this video and for this look specifically, this will make a lot more sense with the next step. Okay, so this is kind of what it should look like at this point. I personally don't have very long lashes, but after I'm able to curl them down, and when I use a fiber mascara, that's what kind of helps me to create this sort of look and this sort of separated twiggy-like shape. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Tweezers. And let's cluster them up. This side of lashes is not as easy to work on as this side of my lashes. So I'm gonna add a little bit more mascara and maybe a couple more fibers just to make it easier for myself. All right, there we go. What the cluster f. Next, I am going to grab another lash glue, but this time it's not gonna be a black one. It's actually going to be a clear lash adhesive, also from Kiss, and I am going to set it aside. Next, I'm gonna grab a couple of rhinestones. Because my eyes are on the smaller side, I like to use really tiny rhinestones, but if your eyes are bigger, you could use larger rhinestones, like these crystal face jewels from ColourPop. They have various sizes. I think for me, I'm just gonna stick to the tiny ones, and I'm gonna lay out a couple of them in front of me, just so I can easily grab them with my finger. I'm going to lay them flat on the table or on any surface, facing up, rhinestone side up. All right, now once I have all of them laid out in front of me, I'm gonna go back to the lash adhesive, and I am going to dot this adhesive right in between these clusters of lashes that I just created. So on this eye, I'm gonna go for 5. Usually I have this tool, like this wax pencil that picks up rhinestones, but I could not find it for the life of me, so I'm just gonna use the back of my pinky, and I'm going to place the rhinestones directly to my dots of lash adhesive. You kind of have to move quickly here and do this before the lash glue has a chance to dry, but essentially this is what it should look like. I think this is so freaking cool and so unique and just like perfect for New Year's, whether you're wearing pajamas or a cute dress. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Boom. Isn't that adorable? I know. Now for the lips, I'm actually gonna keep it pretty simple. Just gonna use a nude lip liner like Vence from NARS. I'm gonna line my lips, overlining the cupid's bow as I always do, shading the corners as I always do. And then for my lips, I'm gonna use one of my favorite lip glosses of all time, the Phyto-Lip Star by SISLEY in the shade Diamond. This lip gloss is very expensive and it has no dupe. It is so stunning and it's one of my favorites. I actually don't even like to apply it straight from the tube because I don't wanna contaminate it with my lip liner. So I'm gonna apply that to the back of my hand first and then onto the lip. Just like that. Okay, one final touch, one final step is the highlighter. For my highlighter today, I'm gonna use JACLYN Cosmetics Star Power Highlighter. I'm gonna pick up just a little bit, add that to the back of the cheekbone, lifting into the temple, just like that. And essentially, my New Year's Eve glam is complete. I'm gonna grab a pair of really dangly earrings just to inspire you a little. But honestly, with such a bright lower lash line, I feel like you don't even need earrings. This is the costume, this is the jewelry. I feel like this is the perfect 2022 New Year's Eve glam. It's something that I think is very current with just like a bit of a throwback vibe with like the twiggy lashes. And it's super simple to put together. You don't need to have a super steady hand to do this. Honestly, you don't even need to be super sober. You could even be hungover and this look can be yours. I hope you like this one as much as I enjoyed putting it together for you. I hope you didn't find this video too wacky. I hope that my performance in this video was okay. But honestly, I really enjoyed myself and I think this look is just so fun and it's so ethereal and it's so perfect to ring in the new year. I really hope that good things and more good things are coming to all of us in 2022. I am really looking forward to next year because these last couple of years have been just a little bit wacky. I'm eager for a fresh start. I'm eager to renew myself. I definitely have some New Year's resolutions that I want to actually keep this time. With that said, I'm going to end this video on this very positive note. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, my final video for 2021, and I'm ending it on this very bright high note. I love you guys. I will see you in the next one, which will be actually next year. Peace out, you guys. Mwah. Love you.